Are you living your life for others or for yourself? This question cuts to the core of who we are. People-pleasing and strength of character stand at opposite ends of a spectrum. One seeks external validation, the other internal fortitude. Let's dive into this crucial dichotomy that shapes our lives in ways we often fail to recognize. People-pleasing is a behavior pattern many of us fall into, sometimes even without realizing it. It's the constant need to make others happy, often at our own expense. We say yes when we want to say no. We change our opinions to match those around us. This behavior stems from a deep-seated fear of rejection or conflict. It's a survival mechanism gone awry. But what's the cost of this constant appeasement? Our authenticity, our dreams, our very sense of self. On the other side stands strength of character. This is the ability to stay true to oneself, regardless of external pressures. It's having the courage to voice unpopular opinions, to stand firm in your convictions, even when it's uncomfortable. Strength of character isn't about being stubborn or inflexible. It's about knowing your values and living by them. It's the backbone that supports a life of integrity and purpose. But it's not easy to cultivate. So why do so many of us default to people-pleasing? The answer lies in our evolutionary past. As social creatures, our survival once depended on group acceptance. Rejection could mean death. This instinct still drives us today, even when the stakes aren't so high. We fear social ostracism like our ancestors feared predators. But in our modern world, this instinct often does more harm than good. It leads us to compromise our true selves. We become chameleons, changing our colors to blend in with every new environment. But at what cost? The cost is our personal power, our authenticity, our ability to make meaningful change in the world. People-pleasers often find themselves trapped in unfulfilling relationships and careers. They're living someone else's life. They're exhausted from constant attempts to meet others' expectations. Their own needs and desires go unmet. Take Laura, for instance. She couldn't say no to a man who was clearly wrong for her. She entered a toxic relationship, ignoring all the red flags. Her fear of confrontation kept her trapped. From a somatic perspective, Laura's body was constantly in a state of high alert. Her nervous system was stuck in fight-or-flight mode, flooding her body with stress hormones. Cortisol and adrenaline surged through her system daily, disrupting her body's natural rhythms. This chronic stress activation began to wreak havoc on her body's systems. Laura's sleep became disturbed, further impairing her body's ability to repair and regulate itself. Her digestive system suffered, leading to inflammation and reduced nutrient absorption. The constant state of stress suppressed her immune system, making her more susceptible to illness. Laura's body, desperate for comfort, began craving high-calorie, sugary foods. These cravings, combined with stress-induced emotional eating, led to significant weight gain. The excess weight put additional strain on her cardiovascular system and joints. Over time, Laura's endocrine system became dysregulated, affecting her metabolism and hormonal balance. Her brain structure began to change, with her amygdala, the fear center, becoming hyperactive. Meanwhile, her prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, showed reduced activity. This made it even harder for Laura to leave the toxic situation, creating a vicious cycle. The chronic stress began to affect her telomeres, the protective caps on her DNA, accelerating cellular aging. Laura's body was quite literally breaking down under the weight of her people-pleasing behavior. Her attempts to avoid conflict were ironically creating a war within her own body. Tragically, this cumulative physical toll, combined with severe emotional distress, led to her early death. Laura's story starkly illustrates how chronic people-pleasing can have dire physiological consequences. It shows how our body keeps the score, manifesting emotional distress in very real physical ways. It shows how the inability to say no can literally be life-threatening. This example serves as a stark wake-up call. It forces us to confront a crucial question. Is it worth it? Is pleasing others worth sacrificing your health, your happiness, and potentially your life? Are you willing to pay the ultimate price for fear of saying no or setting boundaries? This isn't just about relationships, it's about every aspect of life where we compromise our well-being. Laura's story is extreme, but it reflects a spectrum of harm that people-pleasing can cause. It's time to seriously ask yourself, what is your people-pleasing costing you? Are you sacrificing your dreams, your health, or your authentic self on the altar of others' approval? The choice is yours, but remember, you only get one life, one body. Protect it fiercely. Now let's explore a powerful somatic exercise to help you in those critical moments when you're tempted to say yes when you really feel no. I call this technique the spinal no. Here's how it works. When you feel pressured to agree against your better judgment, focus on your spine. Imagine your spine as a strong, flexible rod of light extending from the base of your skull to your tailbone. Take a deep, silent breath. As you inhale, visualize this rod of light straightening and lengthening. Feel it gently pulling your head towards the ceiling, elongating your entire body. As you exhale, mentally say no, and imagine this word traveling down your spine. Feel the no pooling at the base of your spine, grounding you and reinforcing your inner strength. Repeat this process 3 times, each time feeling the no becoming stronger and clearer. This exercise serves multiple purposes. It improves posture, often hunched in moments of people-pleasing. It deepens your breathing, activating your parasympathetic nervous system and reducing anxiety. Most importantly, it creates a physical sensation associated with standing firm in your truth. With practice, this spinal no can become an automatic response to pressure situations. It gives you a moment to pause, reconnect with yourself, and make a decision aligned with your values. Remember, your body is your ally in setting boundaries. This exercise helps you listen to its wisdom. Use the spinal no as your secret weapon against the urge to people please at your own expense. In contrast, those with strength of character often find greater satisfaction in life. They're true to themselves. They attract genuine relationships based on mutual respect. Their career choices align with their values. But let's be clear. Strength of character isn't about being selfish or inconsiderate. It's about healthy boundaries. It's about knowing when to compromise and when to stand firm. It's about respect for yourself and for others. So how do we shift from people-pleasing to strength of character? It starts with self-awareness. Notice when you're saying yes out of fear rather than genuine desire. Pay attention to when you're silencing your true thoughts. Practice saying no to small things. Build up your resilience to disapproval. Identify your core values. What truly matters to you? Let these guide your decisions. Remember, you're not responsible for others' emotions. You can be kind without being a doormat. Seek out role models who embody strength of character. Study how they navigate difficult situations. Understand that conflict isn't inherently bad. It's often necessary for growth and positive change. Taking care of your needs isn't selfish, it's essential. Recognize that respect is earned through authenticity, not people-pleasing. True connections form when we're genuine. Understand that strength of character often involves short-term discomfort for long-term gain. It might mean losing some shallow relationships, but it makes room for deeper, more meaningful ones. It might mean facing criticism or pushback, but it also means living a life true to your values. Remember, every time you people please, you're teaching others how to treat you. You're setting a precedent. Every time you stand firm in your character, you're growing stronger. You're becoming more you. The world doesn't need more chameleons. It needs people with the courage to be themselves. It needs individuals willing to stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular. Imagine a world where everyone lived embodying strength of character. How different would our relationships be? How would our workplaces change? Our politics? Our approach to global challenges? The shift from people-pleasing to strength of character is a journey. It's not about perfection, but progress. Each time you catch yourself, you're growing. You're reclaiming your power. The journey towards strength of character is one of the most important you'll ever undertake. It's the path to a life of authenticity and purpose. It's about becoming the author of your own life story rather than a character in someone else's. So I challenge you. Start today. Notice your people-pleasing tendencies. Question them. Begin to align your actions with your values. Stand firm in your convictions. It won't be easy, but I promise you, it will be worth it. The world needs your unique voice, your authentic self. Are you ready to embrace your strength of character? To live a life true to yourself? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make every day in every interaction. If this message resonated with you, please please share it with others who might benefit. Subscribe for more insights on personal growth and authenticity. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts or experiences. Your voice matters, and your story could inspire others on their journey.